Good evening. Uh,
Good evening, bro.
yeah, good evening. So, welcome again. This is a part of series that we started called Pre-Janmashtami Bash series to welcome the grand event that's coming up, which is Sri Krishna Janmashtami Festival this end of the month on 30th of August. So these series develop one by one on various aspects of Lord's appearance and about the wonderful life lessons that we can learn from the incidents throughout the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna. So for today, we have the topic World Administrators' Joy. So the last session was about nature, how nature celebrated the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna, and how it expressed its joy upon Lord's appearance. So today we'll hear of how Lord appearance was joyful for world administrators. So for that we have a speaker today, Sri Vigradas, sir. So welcome, sir.
Thank
So
you.
over to you. We want to have more insights on what joy of world administrators mean and how it can really help us to improve our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh. Welcome all of you for today's session once again. And let's begin with a few prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. I once again welcome all of you for today's pre-Janmashtami Bash session. So, today, as Santosh told, we are going to discuss how the administrators of the world celebrated the appearance of Lord Krishna when he appeared 5,000 years ago in Dwapara Yuga. Now, who are these world administrators? Now, the world administrators are known as Devatas. Now, who are these Devatas? Devatas are personalities who are law abiding citizens in the universal setup and who have accumulated a very high amount of piety and who are thus empowered by the Supreme Lord to take care of the various departments in the universal affairs. For example, there is Indra, who is known as the king of all the Devatas. Now, he is the king of all the Devatas and he is also in charge of rains according to the Vedic understanding. And there are other devatas, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all of them play one or the other major role in the universal cosmic government. They are called devatas. Now the Padma Purana mentions Vishnu Bhaktat Bhaved Daivaha Asurim Tad Viparyayaha. Always there are two categories of people in this material existence. One are those who recognize the supreme authority of God and who are thus abiding by his orders. They are called the Devatas. And the opposite number, those who do not recognize the existence of the Supreme Lord and who thus do not follow his orders, they are called Asuras. So there are Devatas and there are Asuras. Now, last session we discussed that Kamsa was a demon or an Asura. Now, we should not simply think that a demon is a demon only by his external appearance, or one who is looking very fearful, only that person is called a demon. No. Anybody who has got a predominance of demoniac tendencies in him, he is called a demon or an Asura. Now, the Bhagavad Gita in the 16th chapter explains that all of us, we have two kinds of qualities within us, the Daivi qualities or divine qualities and the demoniac qualities. Now, which qualities we recognize and we enhance in our personality, that becomes our nature. We can either have divine nature or demoniac nature. Now, it all depends on which nature we culture. It's a matter of culturing. It's not about external appearance. Oh, it doesn't mean that only one who has 10 heads or a ghastly feature, he is called a demon. No, it's all about the culture of qualities. So, as I mentioned, there are two categories of people. Now, Kamsa, being very atrocious, he was actually uh, giving trouble to the innocent people. He wanted to establish himself as the supreme. Therefore, he falls into the category of demons. Now, when Kamsa, what was Kamsa's response when he came to know that God is going to appear as the eighth child of Devaki and Vasudeva? He was actually very much afraid. He was very afraid, and he tried all various ways and means to actually make sure that as soon as the child is born, it will be killed. Now, Kamsa was so fearful that he did not wait for the eighth child. Each time Devaki gave birth to a child, immediately he went and killed that particular child. This shows how much anxious, how much fear Kamsa was filled with. So, demoniac people, they are very unhappy to, to welcome truth or to recognize. They are very fearful to face the truth. That's what happened with Kamsa. So one of the qualities of a demon is he fears the truth, whereas the other category, the Devatas, now they rejoiced when they came to know that Krishna, God, has appeared in the womb of Mother Devaki in the prison house of Kamsa. The Devatas rejoiced. They were very happy. In fact, it was because of the prayers of the Devatas that God agreed to come to this earth as Krishna to stop the atrocities of demoniac kings like Kamsa. This we have discussed in the previous session, isn't it? Now, when the Devatas learned that that opportune moment has already come, Krishna has appeared. He has taken shelter in the womb of Mother Devaki. The Devatas were very, very happy. Now, one important thing that I wanted to tell you about Krishna's appearance as the son of Devaki. Now, the scriptures say that Krishna or God is the father of all fathers. He is the mother of all mothers. In fact, Bhagavad Gita says, Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. That means God is the ultimate father. Now, how did God appear as a son of some ordinary person? This may be This may be our doubt. How the Supreme Father is now appearing as a child of somebody in this world. Now, for that, the scriptures give a very authoritative understanding. The scriptures say that actually God appears out of his own free will. He chooses who should be his parents, even when he appears in this world. God is unborn, but he chooses to appear as a child of the pious people. He did not choose anybody else. He chose Vasudeva and Devaki because they were the most pious. They were the most spiritually elevated souls. Therefore, he chose them as his parents. And another interesting thing that is mentioned is Krishna did not enter the womb of Mother Devaki through the normal process of seminal injection. Just like in this world, through the semen of the father, the child enters the womb of the mother, isn't it? And then the fetus develops and all of that. But this was not the process which was followed, or which was involved in Krishna's appearance. So first of all, it is said that Krishna or God appeared in the heart of Vasudeva. From the heart of Vasudeva, Krishna was transferred into the womb of Devaki. So it is a transcendental process. It is not a material process, right? So this is very interesting, right? Even if you recollect, in Ramayana also there is a description of how Lord Rama appeared. Lord Rama also did not appear through a seminal process. When this Putra Kamishti Yajna was performed by Dashrath Maharaj, the Agni Deva came up with a pot of sweet rice. That sweet rice was consumed by the three queens of Maharaj Dashratha, and Kausalya gave birth to Rama in that way. So there is a mystical process involved here. So it is not a material process. So we should know that God, even when he accepts somebody as his parents in this world, he does not follow a material process. He is supremely powerful. He can appear in his own way, according to his own wish. He appears. And when God appears, he does not have to follow the material laws. That is something very interesting, right? That's an interesting thing I wanted to tell you about God's appearance. Okay, now coming back to this part, as you're seeing in this poster, when all the Devatas, headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they all came to know that God or Krishna has taken shelter in the womb of Mother Devaki, they were all very happy because they were sure that now the atrocities of King Kamsa would come to an end on the earthly planet. They were all very happy. So they came, they appeared in the sky, and they started offering wonderful prayers. These prayers are recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, and these prayers are known as Garbhastuti. Garbhastuti means the prayers offered by the Devatas in praise of God who had appeared in the womb or Garbha of Mother Devaki. And these prayers are profound. These prayers contain descriptions of the glories of God. These prayers also highlight the fact that God is supremely independent, and he is sure to give protection to those who have firm faith in him. This is very nicely highlighted by the prayers offered by the denizens of heavenly planets or the Devatas, right? And today, as I mentioned in the previous session, today I wanted to share with you one such prayer from the Garbhastuti. We are going to learn it today through a very interesting process. The Vedic way of learning the prayers in Sanskrit is that of listening and recitation, repetition. So what we are going to do is, today we are going to offer one particular prayer or learn one particular prayer. The prayer will be displayed on the screen, and I shall be chanting the prayer first word by word, then line by line, and then two lines at a time, and then all the four lines together. Each time when I chant, you please repeat, and when you keep repeating, you will also get the words very clearly. Okay, so let's see what is that prayer. Yes, this is the prayer. First, I will chant this one time. You can listen. There is a particular tune in which we chant. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyamrita Satyanetram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapanna. So this is one of the prayers. Wonderful to hear, isn't it? Satya means the truth. The Devatas are happy, they're overjoyed because the supreme absolute truth has now appeared in the material world. So they are glorifying Krishna like this. Let us see the exact meaning of this. The demigods or the Devatas prayed, O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, that is, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth in all the ingredients of creation. And therefore, you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone for all time. You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. Wonderful, isn't it? So, this is the meaning of this prayer. Now we shall learn this prayer. So, I request all of you to please repeat after me. Each phrase I'm going to say, you repeat twice in the same way. This will take about 2-3 minutes, okay? Satyavratam. Repeat twice.
Satyavratam, Satyavratam,
Satyaparam.
Satyaparam,
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 Trisatyam.
Trisatyam, Trisatyam,
Now that entire line we will chant. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam.
Satyavratam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam,
Once again, twice.
Satyavratam, Satyaparam, Trisatyam,
Satyasya yonim.
Satyasya yonim, Satyasya yonim,
Nihicham nihitam cha satye.
Nihitam kasatye, yonim nihitam yasatye,
It is nihitam cha satye.
Nihitam shasatye,
Satyasya satyam.
Satyasya satyam, Satyasya satyam,
I hope all of you are chanting in your own places, even though one participant has switched on his mic. Of course, if everybody starts chanting together, it might create disturbance. So, because of time lag, but I hope all of you are chanting along with us. Satyasya satyam,
Satyasya satyam, Satyasya satyam,
ruta satya netram,
Hridasatyanetram, Hridasatyanetram,
satyatmakam tvam,
Satyankadam Tvam, Satyankyat,
satya satyatmakam tvam,
Satyatmakam Tvam,
sharanam prapannaha.
Saranam Prapannaha, Saranam Prapannaha.
Okay, now we will chant line by line. Okay. Now you are familiar with each word. We will chant line by line. Please try to chant the same tune in which I am chanting so that you will remember. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam. Okay, next line. I will also chant with you. Chant with me. Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye. Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye. Satyasya satyamrita satyanetram. Satyasya satyamrita satyanetram. Satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Now we will chant two lines at a time. Try to chant along with me. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye. Once again. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye. The next two lines. Satyasya satyamrita satyanetram Satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Satyasya satyamrita satyanetram Satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Okay, now all the four lines together we will chant. Chant along with me. Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyamruta Satyanetram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha Satyavratam Satyaparam Trisatyam Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye Satyasya Satyamruta Satyanetram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha. So a wonderful, beautiful prayer, in which the word Satya, truth, is repeated so many times. So the Devatas, they were truth lovers. When they saw that the absolute truth, God, has mercifully appeared in the earth, they were overjoyed. They offered wonderful prayers. So we could also learn this prayer, and on the day of Janmashtami, you can offer this prayer to Lord Krishna, and along with its meaning, it's very important to we also know the meaning. So please try to memorize this prayer. So today's session, we understood that the administrators of the universe, the Devatas, are very happy. They welcomed the Lord by showering flowers and also offering wonderful prayers in glorification of Krishna when he appeared in the womb of Mother Devaki. And we also learn from this incident that two kinds of people, same incident, two responses, isn't it? The incident is appearance of Lord Krishna. The two types of people. Kamsa's response was full of fear and self-defense. He was actually very much afraid of Krishna's appearance, whereas the Devatas overjoyed celebrations. So, in each one of us, we have the Daivi Prakriti, the divine nature, and we also have Asuri Prakriti, the demoniac nature. Now, based on which quality or which nature we cultivate, we become that particular person. We can either become divine person or we can become demoniac person. And how to become a divine personality? By connecting with divine. Anybody who is connected with the divine, with God, it is possible to develop one's divine qualities. Whereas when we become disconnected from God, automatically the asuri pravritti, the demoniac qualities will increase. So therefore, uh, on this day, so Janmashtami is also a reminder for us that we should become closer to the divine. We should cultivate divine qualities within us, and we should defeat the demoniac tendencies within us. And then we shall truly be able to appreciate the absolute truth or Satya, that is Lord Krishna. So that is one important message from Janmashtami festival. So with this, we end today's discussion. Anyone wants to say something or anyone has some question, please feel free to speak. Please feel free to express yourself. I would also like to know what you understood from today's discussion. So please, could you summarize? Anyone could summarize in one or two sentences whatever you got from today's discussion. May I request Vimlesh? Okay, we have Sai Krishna.
Uh,
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Sir, what I understood is that, like, even though, like, good people, uh, what they were happy when the God arrived, and bad people were not so happy. The bad people didn't want to change themselves in the meantime that God is coming, but they were still fearing and trying to do the same bad thing by killing him. So I think I learned that that is a wrong thing to do.
Yeah. So at least Kamsa should have changed himself, isn't it? But he didn't do that. Even though Narad Muni came and approached him, and he actually tried to tell him the right thing, but somehow he was not in a mood of listening. Yes, good observation. Thank you, Sai Krishna.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
may I request Vimlesh to also share what you understood from today's discussion?
So actually, I was in another meeting, so I joined at 2014. So I couldn't get the whole thing.
Oh, okay, no problem. Anyone else would like to share?
Yes, sir. One point I would like to share here.
Yes, Mayank.
Um, as you mentioned, the Krishna also appears in the material world, and Krishna appears when the devotee and the demigods want him to appear for the sake of goodness in the material world. And when he appears, he doesn't follow the materialistic nature, like going into the womb of mother and then. So he's free from that things because he's a supreme God. So yeah, so he comes through his divine nature. Yeah, that thing only.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you all of you for patiently being part of the session. I now hand over to Santosh for announcements. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It was a wonderful session where we got to understand how administrators were expressing their joy to the Supreme Lord by this wonderful verse as well. So it was quite a new experience to chant Sanskrit verses like this, and it might have been quite a soothing experience for the participants as well. So, coming to the announcements, we have a finale, we can say, for all the series that's happening throughout a week. At the end, between 26th to 28th of August, in a uh, pattern where we are covering different features of celebrations. So when we think of any festive celebration in India, what comes to our mind are uh, how uh, music is part of the celebration, and how people come together and talk about different incident stories, and how people come together and learn a few new things in their life. So we have three specific features that come up in this program. One is that on the day one we have musical performances by various students of the institute. So that is a major theme of the first day, 26th August. On 27th, we have a storytelling session where the students come up and share their wonderful stories that they have heard or have seen as a cartoon series and so forth of Lord Shri Krishna. And on the final day, that is 20th August, we have a series of talks about Lord Krishna and the importance of his teachings in the modern times. So that's it. And here's the poster for the talent show as well. So if you want to showcase some of your talents like singing, dancing, or even sketching a few things, or even narrate different stories, or even just expressing your memories or your interpretations of how Janmashtami is really a festival that needs to be commemorated and celebrated, you can come forward and share your recordings. So these are the announcements for today's session. So with this, we come to the end of the Bash series session for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to send us your valuable feedback. We'll be happy to receive it and work on them. And that's it for today. Have a great day ahead. Bye.
Bye, bro. Thank you. Thank you, sir.